So, Game 7 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. At times, it has looked like both of these teams were poised to take over in this series, only for the other to respond right back. And now, we find ourselves in a do-or-die situation with the season on the line. Loser hits up Travago and books the flights to Cancun, while the winner forces Carolina back from their vacation to play in the conference finals. This one is taking place in Buffalo, but superstitions are all over the place. Sabres are 5-1 on the road and 2-4 at home, so they're doing everything they can to mimic a road game experience as they stayed in a hotel the night before Game 7. Also, key to Game 7 is to score first. Teams that score first have won 75% of the games historically in NHL history. So, let's take a deep dive into this one, how this Game 7 played out, the series as a whole, and what does it mean moving forward. So, looking back in this series, the Habs have outscored Buffalo by a margin of 14-11 when 5-on-5 in this series. One way they've really had some success is with their forecheck. When they can get in on Buffalo's D and get this 2-on-2 forecheck setup going, it is one avenue that they can really make Buffalo pay. So in Game 7, the plan is simple for Montreal. Get that forecheck going. Josh Anderson gets the red line, dumps it in, and then gets to work. Now, this will drive Lindy Ruff nuts because in the playoffs, especially against strong forechecking teams, your job as the forward or even the D partner is to make a subtle little pick or a hold up to just buy some time for the retrieving D to grab the puck. Krebs tries to hold him up, but Anderson says, "Get that shit out of here. Don't touch me," and breezes right by him. Also, the dump location is perfect, too. And he's just going to outmuscle Byram like it's his annoying little cousin at a birthday party. And he's going to do this one-hand bump off the boards to the F2 and support in Texas. Now, when the puck is below the goal line, every NHL defense gets into this 5 tight to protect the house. So that introduces opportunity for the D to short the zone and step in if there's a battle one down low. Sure enough, Tex-Mex to Gooley, and this one is going to go off of Deneau's foot and into the net. Is that a kick, though? Lindy Ruff is a bit chapped about it, and no wonder, because the poor fella was the coach back in '99 when Brett Hull had his foot in the crease, and it counted for them to lose the Stanley Cup. He's seen this shit before, and he doesn't want to see it again, but they deemed this one a good goal as there was no distinct kicking motion. That goal goes to the Habs' legs, and again, it's the forecheck. The top line, the Suzuki line, gets in on the forecheck, and watch this play by Suzuki. He bats it out of the air to Caulfield. He's home alone, just him and UPL same-day delivery, and he delivers not one, but 2 10-bellers on the 50-goal man himself to keep this a 1-goal game. And throughout the chaos, Benson goes to clear the puck and swats it over the boards. That's a delay of game. You can't do that. So now Montreal's power play gets a chance to deliver. Now, Buffalo kills almost the entire power play, but then a loose puck goes into the corner, which prompts a foot race between Suzuki and the Sabres. Now, a strong penalty kill gets aggressive at the right times, and one of those moments or cues as to when you can get aggressive is when a player is along the wall and has their back to the middle of the ice, like Suzuki does here. It's even better if the puck is bobbling, but here's the thing. Suzuki has full control of this puck, and both Sabres decide to close in and get aggressive, but Suzuki's going to take a very quick scan towards the middle of the ice, and he sees Bolduc wide open. Partially because Samuelson starts cheating behind the net to be a potential support option if they win this battle, but he misreads it. He's sleeping beauty on the coverage, and Bolduc goes back bar and out. What a sick puppy of a shot. They have a 2-0 lead now in Game 7. This could have easily been 3-0 as well, with Alexander Texier, the Tex-Mex, getting a B-way, but UPL stretches out that leg to keep it 2-zip at the end of the first. What a start. Grab yourself a beer, and before you sit down to start the second, I want to make sure you get the best seat in the house for your next game with our sponsor and our friends at SeatGeek. The World Cup is around the corner. I'll tell you right now, if you're thinking of going to any live event, you're not going to want to do it without getting a good deal, and SeatGeek is the best damn way to do it. You know how it works by now. You browse seating on a scale of 1 to 10, look for the green, which indicates the best deals, and voila, you got your tickets for a great price. You know SeatGeek hooked us up too with a great deal, so if you hit the link in the description to download the app, it'll automatically apply the code HOCKEY2026 so that you have 10% off on your next pair of tickets. I use SeatGeek for every live event I go to now. It is the best way to experience a game live on a great deal. I'm probably going to use SeatGeek to go to the draft and pick McKenna myself because I know the Leafs will find a way to screw it up. And so if you want to go to your next live event on a great deal, use the code in our description and download the app so that you can enjoy your next event with SeatGeek. All right, so now hopping into the second period, let's talk a little bit about the dangers of Buffalo's gunslinging offense. They love to maintain possession and make plays off the rush with active D, but it can get them in trouble at times if there's a turnover at the O-zone blue line and they get caught up ice. That's what happens here. Dahlin tries to lug it in, and as he gets squeezed off here, he can't get the puck in deep enough. So now you got 4 Sabres caught at the O-zone blue line, one being a D, which means we got a counterattack brewing for Montreal. They spring Josh Anderson, who's been all over it in this game. Another breakaway. He misses the net for the field goal and goes 10-pin bowling with his entire body into UPL. Not good, but Buffalo has to get one here if they want to plant the seed of doubt. So send in the dogs. 4th line shift from Buffalo. This is meat and potatoes. Ugly work down low, but it's also lovely. They center it out in front. It goes off of Dobish's stick right to Samuelson, and the Great Wall of China forms right in front of Dobish. This guy cannot see a thing. He's praying to God it hits him. It doesn't. It goes right off of Greenway's ass cheek and in. That is beautiful. You know it's the playoffs when you're scoring goals off the ass. Buffalo cuts the lead to 1, and they had a few glorious chances to tie the game right before the end of the second, but Dobish stands tall and keeps this game 2-1 for the Habs. Going into the third, you can feel the game starting to tilt in Buffalo's favor. Dobish is stopping what he can. There's a puck loose in the blue, and he snags it up only for Zucker to come in there, guns a-blazing. He goes right through Dobish, and bravo from the academy. Dobish acts like he gets shot, but there's no penalty on the play, which even though he won the Oscar, I still think that it's goalie interference all day. Stripes misses one there, and on the ensuing faceoff, the Sabres look to cook something up. Now, Montreal has been the better faceoff team in this series. We saw them run a set faceoff play of their own with success in Game 5 and score, but now Buffalo is going to do one of their own. A face-off loss means for the defensive team man-on-man coverage, and these plays was just as important as winning the draw as what you do away from the puck. Watch Josh Doan here on Bolduc. He's just going to get in the way. Just be annoying, get in the lane. That way you buy your teammate just enough time to get some space. That's his job, and because it's going to go to Power, who's Bolduc's man, you see that tiny pick. It just forces his path to be outside and in and not direct. So now Power can beat him on the inside, and as Dahlin activates off the wall, that forces Doc into a tough decision. He's in no man's land. Dahlin is technically his man here, but he cannot just let Power step down Main Street for an uncontested shot. So he holds the lane, and he decides to do so, which opens up the pass, and this is elite from Dahlin. As a lefty here, Dobish is not expecting a shot right away, let alone an accurate one, and Dahlin knows this. It's a same-side one-timer that is difficult to execute, but it catches Dobish late to the push, and Buffalo ties the game up. Incredible. Down by 2, they claw back. They're now buzzing. Halfway through the third, they put one on net. It squeaks through the wickets of Dobish. Loose puck. Malenstein pokes it in. Buffalo takes the lead. No. Wait, hold on. Referee Wes McCauley lost sight of the puck and blew the play dead before it went into the net. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Sabres fans are asking the hockey gods, why us? Just let us get one here for the sake of Buffalo Sabres hockey. This stays tied at 2, and I want whatever Anderson had for a pregame meal because this guy was flying. Another B-way late in the third, but UPL makes an unbelievable save, which means for the first time in this series, we're going to OT, and it's in a Game 7. You cannot ask for anything more. Early on, the Sabres came out as the aggressor. Big chance by Benson first, and then another with Thompson on a 2-on-1, but Dobish stands tall yet again. Now, with how the Sabres like to use motion in the O-zone, we've seen in this series and in this game how there are great opportunities for Montreal to counter if they can create a turnover just inside the blue line. And with all these high scissor routes Buffalo has used throughout this series, Montreal knows that they will try and make an extra play up high. So, off another faceoff loss, Montreal's coverage is much better this time around. Dahlin gets the puck, and instead of rimming it down low or putting it on net, he and the Sabres want to hold possession and create a breakdown, so Thompson is going to swing up high as the F3 to set this up. However, both Demidov and Carrier do a great job at sticking with their checks and forcing that high turnover. Now, Montreal has the chance to counter. Jake Evans is going to have a strong center lane drive here, which holds Dahlin into an awkward spot. He can't gap up effectively because the threat of Evans going to the net forces him to cover that passing lane. So Alex Newhook says, I'll just take the space, and he lets it fly. The puck is on edge, and it finds a way to beat UPL. It is all over. Just like that, Montreal wins it in OT. Alex Newhook is Sidney Crosby in these playoffs, back-to-back Game 7 clinching goals, all while Buffalo and their fans remained stunned. Montreal, on the other hand, is going absolutely nuts as they move on to the conference finals, and we're witnessing a little bit of history here. Montreal has become the youngest team in the NHL to advance to the conference finals since 1993, and the team that did that well was the Montreal Canadiens. Spoiler alert, they went on to win the Cup that year, so I'm sure Habs fans love hearing that. For Buffalo, the damn city can't catch a break. If it's not the Bills and Josh Allen breaking their hearts, it's the Sabres. They, for the majority of this game, were the better team, in my opinion. Aside from the shots on goal, I thought they did a better job of breaking down Montreal at times, but they just didn't finish the job. Big picture, though, what a year for the Buffalo Sabres. They started the year off completely ass, just like the last 15 years, but then they turned into the best damn team in the NHL and won the Atlantic Division. The fans were absolutely incredible, and they brought back the pride in the organization. Montreal, on the other hand, they move on to play the Carolina Hurricanes. Have been sitting on the sofa for the last 2 weeks studying these two teams beating the shit out of each other. They will be well rested, but it may not exactly be the best thing. They've swept both series against Philly and Ottawa, but sometimes when you're humming like they were, you almost don't want to break. You want to just keep on playing. Now they finally get a chance to keep that momentum going against the Habs. Montreal swept the regular season series against Carolina, but that usually doesn't mean anything. So everyone's still expecting Carolina to wipe the floor with them, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people think, especially if Freddie isn't great for the Hurricanes. So, what did you think of Game 7? What surprised you? What pissed you off? Let us know in the comments down below. We're covering every game of these NHL playoffs on the channel. You can check out our past videos here. You can also check us out on Spotify now in the description. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single thing with the NHL.